Okay, we're going to do the weekly AllSigns love readings. I didn't do them yesterday. I had a break because my health was not being good. I have asthma, okay, so I was really struggling, and I'm back to my old self now, so that's good. Got sorted. Yeah, so it was getting a bit annoying, to be honest. It wouldn't have been fun to listen to that, so hopefully you don't mind that we're having Sunday as our collective readings day. Just for this week. Last week was it was quite quiet, to be honest, for engagement, but it was bank holiday weekend, wasn't it? In the UK, like, most people are on holiday, they're having their like summer holiday, so I get it. Hopefully we get a bit more engagement this week. Should have been doing a collab, but we've postponed it because Mojo's really busy. He's like overwhelmed, so well, I'll keep calling him Mojo. Jojo's really busy, so we will do it maybe in a few more weeks. Okay, so it's just me today. Right, I'm going to stay with the same tarot deck and oracle decks. I've reduced my flowers a bit because there were so many. couldn't cope. I want you to be able to see the cards more than anything. Oh my goodness, like, Mercury retrograde finished, right? I keep saying 11/11 everywhere, like 4 times in the last week. I've seen 11/11. And then I went on one of my apps, and someone had messaged that I've been waiting to hear from for like a year and a half. They'd messaged a couple of weeks ago and hadn't seen it. It's wild. They probably won't see it now. It'll be like cat and mouse. Yeah, absolute blast from the past. Could not believe it. It's been coming out in the tarot. I tell you what, I predicted that months ago. I predicted it for September, and it happened, guys. It happened last night. Right. I feel like really okay, gonna be honest, yesterday I was on GTA. I did GTA because these modders came on and they were like gifting me cars, and I was like, oh my god, I can't just leave now. This is like the worst time to leave. So yeah, can't wait to go on GTA after this. Just met with a friend that do have a life outside of digital stuff. We had such a good natter. Met up with her, like, been talking for like 3.5 hours. And I could have said more, but she had to go. But yeah, that was nice. Let's get these cards shuffled and we'll do Aries. I'll go through all the zodiac signs, you know the drill. Yeah, so it's mad, right? On the Taurus readings for months, this has been predicted that this person was going to get in touch in fall time. And it said September specifically. I'm sure it was my own reading, right, that said September, because I always do divine timing, oracle decks, and it's happened, guys. It's happened. After a year and a half of nothing, I mean, like, nothing. Not talking to each other at all. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aries' highest good. How is Aries feeling in this first week of September 2025? Oh no. First week of September 2025 with regards to when they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in. 3 cards for Aries first of all, please. Oh, straight out. The 2 of Wands reversed. So the 2 of Wands upright that's a card of planning. You see this person's like mulling things over. They're like playing with that leaf, deep in thought. Like, that's not what they're thinking about. They're really preoccupied, okay? So If it was upright, that would be a planning phase. That would be like, I need to pick A or B. What do I do? I need to stay or go. What do I do? When it's reversed, it's like we're refusing to plan. We're refusing to make a choice. Okay? We're not thinking about it. So it's kind of delaying something that's inevitable. Okay? It's like you like procrastinating. Yeah? So can you see these cards? Shall I go further back? Go on. Let's put the camera further back. Worst thing about organising a tarot setup is like, can they see your cards? Like, I used to struggle so much with camera angles. Now I just put it in front of me, but I don't want to like hunch over the desk, you know. Let's get another one. So this is your cards that I'm pulling out now, and then I'll get cards for whoever shows up in your reading. The Eight of Cups reversed. Okay. So it could literally be, do I stay or do I go? Like, do I continue to work on this? Do I give up on it? When the Eight of Cups is upright, that's walking away from an established connection. If it was the Two of Cups reversed or something like that, or Three of Cups reversed, I would say like it's something early on or situationship. With Eight of Cups, it's like you're living together, you're in a full-time relationship, exclusive. Like, we've gone beyond Six of Cups where it's a soulmate connection. It's something very, very established. So you could be in a relationship, you could be living together, you could be married. I don't think you want to give up, okay? Because when it's upright, it's giving up. When it's reversed, it's like, I don't want to give up on this. Now, it's a bit strange that it's with that planning phase, so you could be a bit in denial, which is perfectly fine. That's a coping mechanism of sorts about something that's coming to an end. Maybe a person that you are with has expressed that this isn't working anymore, and you're like, no, we need to work on it, that's all, it's just a bad patch. Or maybe it's like, yeah, I strongly feel like that, because if, say, you were just stuck on someone emotionally and you weren't physically in that environment anymore, that would probably be Six of Swords reversed. That card where it's like the person in the boat and they're sailing away and they're leaving their past behind. When that's reversed, that's like, I can't emotionally move on, even though we're not together anymore. This is someone that's still in a relationship, but there's like naturally, something's just not working and it's not gelling anymore. It's not easy anymore. There's maybe someone else has expressed that they want to finish it and you don't want to. You don't want to call it. You don't want to call time. That's what I'm getting so far, but let's get another one. Oh, thank you. It's a Scouse accent. Maybe you already know that. Between Wales and Liverpool. Oh, look at this, Seven of Swords reversed. I tell you what, you've been up to something, Aries, because this is a card of deception. This is a card of deception. So this is like lying, cheating, stealing, or keeping something from someone, being strategic. Like, say if you were planning an exit from a relationship and you never told the person that this would come up, it doesn't automatically mean that you've been cheating on someone, okay? But it's like when you're trying to deceive someone or you're keeping something to yourself for the purpose of being deliberately strategic, deliberately deceptive, premeditated, okay? Because these are thoughts and communications and they're keeping them to themselves and they're kind of sneaking around. Now, when that's reversed, to me, that's like something that's been exposed. But that's a strange combination to get. It's like, that's a strange combination, isn't it? Did someone cheat on you? Or did you cheat on them? Or like you're keeping something to yourself? You've been keeping something to yourself, like, or you've tried to manipulate a situation. It's like the other person's not in on the plan, do you know what I mean? It's giving like stagnancy, delays, trying to delay a breakup, trying to be strategic about delaying a breakup of a very serious long-term connection, to be honest. Let's see who shows up, and then it might make more sense. Okay, 3 cards for the one that's showing up in Aries' reading. Could be someone that's on your mind. It could be someone you're actually dealing with, like your other half. Or it could be someone you're manifesting in the future. I don't think you're manifesting at the moment. I think you're trying to hold on to something. But let's see. Ooh. 3 of Cups now. The 3 of Cups upright is like a cause to celebrate, but it can also be, as you well know, it can be a third party card, like, you know, there's an established exclusive relationship or marriage, and then a third person is being brought in by one of the people in the marriage. It's the other man, the other woman. You know, the 2 of Cups is 2 people that are each expressing their love for one another. That's mutual love, okay? The feelings are reciprocal. When you add another cup and another person, that's too many. So in a love reading, this could be third party, but it can also be a cause to celebrate. Now, it was reversed, so this person could have ended a third party situation. So I think you were someone that's in a relationship, right? And you don't want to end the relationship. Maybe, okay, what are reasons that people stay in marriages or long-term connections where they live together? They've poured money into a property. It's not that easy to just walk away. There's stuff to sort out. It's not practical to just walk out on something where there's contracts, there's assets, there's finances, there's years of like pouring money into an asset. You're not just going to walk away. Okay, this is what stops people from leaving. If there's children involved, this is what stops people from leaving, because they don't want their kids to think love doesn't last, or my mum and dad, you know, don't love each other. It's upsetting, okay? So it makes people think twice about ending something. So I'm talking through that because I want to know, are you the person that's in a relationship? I think yes, because you've got 8 of Cups reversed, which is a soulmate. It's more of a long-term connection. This could be it could be the person that maybe you were seeing someone from within a connection, you brought another person into the equation. It could be them that's showing up, or it could be your other half that's showing up, but maybe they're exposed cheating or deception of some kind, flirting of some kind. Because, you know, people will still see it as like deception if, say, like a random person comes into your DMs on Facebook and they're like flirting with you and they know that you're married. If your other half found that, they would feel like, you know, you're still cheating, because it's like emotional cheating. Maybe it goes too far. Maybe it becomes like a physical cheating. They're not going to be happy with that, like, either way. So it doesn't mean that you like actually hooked up with someone, but it feels like either you were involved with a third person and that's who's showing up here and they've ended it. The like other man or other woman has finished it because it's facing down. Or this is your other half and they've exposed third party. Because you've been doing something. You've been doing something, or they've been. Could be that your other half was having an affair and you don't want to give up on the connection. Okay, maybe you realise that they were cheating, but like you just, you know, like for the exactly the same reasons, you don't just want to throw it away because you've got a house, because you've got kids, because you've got, you know, years and years of memories. Like, either way, whatever the situation is, and you know what your situation is, you don't want to just give up on it, basically. That's what's showing up. This looks like someone's ended an affair, or they've ended. They don't feel like there's a cause to celebrate, okay? If you can hear like the hoover in the background, I apologise, but I don't live alone. Look what we've got. This is going to indicate which it is now. Okay. This person's single. I know that because we've got the Nine of Pentacles. They're single, they're abundant. If this person gets involved with someone, it's not because they're like a hobo. They're not trying to like, you know, this person can just be single and happy. They've got enough money and enough abundance. They're happy, like they're fulfilled. They're worthy of love, okay? They feel like they've fallen in love with someone and that person is in love with them. It's mutual. If that was reversed, I would say the feelings are not mutual. One person loves, the other person doesn't. I would also say it's a new connection because 2 is the beginning of a cycle. If it was 6 of Cups, that's soulmates. It's like many years together, whether you're married or unmarried, living together or not together, it's more established. This is like we've just started dating and we've fallen in love. It's just happened. Okay, so this is a new connection. It's recent. Do you understand that that's like a cheating card, like a third party? This person's a single person, okay? So this person is the other man or the other woman and they're in love. They're genuinely in love, right? So someone is showing up in your reading that either you've had, well, yeah, it has to be the person that you've had an affair with. Because they're showing up as a single person and they love someone, or it's your other half and they're obsessed with the new person. And I'm sorry to expose that if that's what's happening, but maybe this is the other half and they want to leave the marriage and they already told you and you like, no, we can work on it. It's just like, you know, we can get past it, we can reconcile. But this is someone that's behaving single, they're acting single, they're a free agent. Therefore, I feel like it's more likely the other man or the other woman has decided to walk away and they don't want to be in the dark. They don't want to be kept a dirty secret anymore. That's my like vibe, because they're newly in love and they're already single. If they were a king or a queen, I'd say, okay, it's your ex, like wife, ex-husband, and they're in love with their new person. But I think this is the one that you've been cheating with, actually. I think they've called off the third party because they're in love. They don't want to share. They don't want to share, okay? Like they're not gonna hide in the dark anymore. They're not gonna be a dirty secret. They don't want to see your family photos, playing happy families, knowing that they're in love with you. And you know, you can't assume like that an affair is just hollow. You can't assume that. Some people genuinely fall in love, and it's for the exact reasons that we said earlier, that the married person does not want to just walk away. Maybe they wanted their partner to just be intimate with them again. Maybe they wanted the person that they're with just to start being intimate with them again, to start coming back, you know, like more tactile with them, more emotional, more connected. And they didn't. So then they didn't go looking for love, but they found it somewhere else with someone that enjoys to be tactile, someone that wants to sleep with them, someone that's very sexually attracted to them, and they feel like a new person from it. But they also love their children. They also love the life that they built. They got up every day 9 till 5 or doing shift work, and they poured their heart and soul and they worked hard and they were tired and they rested in that house. Why should they leave it? They love their kids. Why should they leave their kids? It's hard. Like, it's very, very difficult. I used to judge people a lot, but since I got older, like I don't have that same opinion, because you can understand why people didn't just walk away. I think it's a very bad person that just walks away just like that. It's probably a better person that finds it difficult to leave, you know? I know it's a controversial topic and maybe you don't agree, but I'm 40 now, so I've seen it all, guys. I've seen it all. So let's get one more. I definitely didn't have that opinion when I was in my 20s, but you think like there's only one person for you when you're in your 20s, and you're like, I have to be with that person, or we're gonna get married, and then once we're married, everything's gonna be perfect, and it's just not. Relationships are hard, man. Knight of Wands reversed. Or, you know, this confirms to me that this person has lost their mojo. This person that was the other man or the other woman, they don't feel sexy anymore. They feel like very emotionally upset because, you know, they wanted, they were in love. It wasn't just sex for them. This person was in love. Okay, this is not a player card. This is like, I'm in love with you. I'm emotionally, like my cup is full and I'm offering my emotions to you. And I think you're in love with me too. I'm single and I'm abundant. I'm a catch. You know, I'm someone to be with. I'm not trying to like get with you because I think you have money. It's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with just sex. It's not, it's emotional. Okay, this is being in love with someone. They've fallen in love, but they're not prepared to be in the dark anymore, and they don't want to, you know, screw around and like keep going how they were going. This is a Knight of Wands, which is like player energy. It's like very, very sexual, very passionate, impulsive, acting in the moment. So if you were still hooking up, this would be upright. This person don't want to hook up anymore, guys. That's upsetting them. They're in love with you and it's upsetting them. So guess what? You don't get the goodies anymore. Because actually hitting this person now, this third party, the other man, the other woman is hitting them. Let's get 3 for the outcome. Maybe they said like, I want you to leave them or I'm not going to continue seeing you. And you don't want to leave your like husband or your wife. And so they said like, that's it, we're done then, you know, because I'm in love with you. They had to lay down the law for their own sanity, like. You're Virgo, my mum's a Virgo. Very, very like, perfectionist, very creative, really nice attention to detail, and very tasteful, like Virgos, like sapiosexual, very intelligent. You've got to be intelligent if you're going to entice a Virgo. Ooh, oh no, the cards are going everywhere. Let's look at them. Okay, this is interesting. See, that one, the death card is like a chapter that hasn't closed, okay? If it was upright, the chapter would have closed and the cycle with this person would have closed and we're moving on, okay? But that's the challenge, is that we haven't moved on, we haven't closed the door, okay? Look at what it was with. The Empress reverse is someone that's feeling bad about themselves, okay? They don't feel high value. The Empress upright is one that's very high value. This is the all 4 queens. She's all 4 queens. And the story of the Empress is that she attracts, she does not chase. She is the creator. She's pregnant in the card, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck. She's pregnant with possibility. She's pregnant with ideas. She's creative. She's abundant. She's abundant in love and financially. Because wherever the Empress goes, she has the ability to create from zero as many times as she needs to. That doesn't mean she's always rich, like every day of her life she's rich. It means she has the ability to rebuild and restart and attract better, you know, like whenever things go bad, it's okay. She's going to be like a phoenix and rise from the ashes. It's a high value person. She's the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. She's sexy, she's confident, she's caring, she's the ultimate nurturer. She's patient, you know, she's understanding, she's she's very abundant, like financially, a very generous person, financially generous, so hardworking as well. It's a very, very high value person that feels that they are not high value. It's the card of Taurus and of Libra. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. It's with the King of Swords reversed. So if you're in Aries, Taurus, cusp, it could be you as well. Because the King of Swords is someone that, when it's this way, when it's reversed, it's a manipulative energy. Okay, I need water because my throat's dry. Hang on. It's all this talking today. If the King of Swords was upright, let's take the Empress card away. The King of Swords upright is someone who it's strong Aquarian energy. It's air energy, so it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Swords are air, okay? It's thoughts, communication, information, knowledge. Air signs are very analytical. They're fantastic orators, speakers, very humanitarian, especially that Aquarius energy, like a mentor, a leader, someone that motivates people, inspires people, ultimately wants to help people. It's like a sense of justice. Okay, the swords are like always on cards of justice, the truth, what's fair, what's right, honesty, integrity, you know, this kind of vibe. Like when it's reversed, if you're a very intelligent person, you're able to think fast, like on your feet. You're able to be very persuasive. You could be very manipulative. So the King of Swords is not like seeing someone's best side. It's like, I can get one over people. I can manipulate people. Okay. When swords are reversed, it could be not speaking at all, or it could be like blocking someone. It could be communication that's used in a like lying or manipulative way. Persuasive, like to the point of manipulative. See, that's why that could be you, to be honest. If you're the married person, then you would show up as an Empress. If you were being deceptive, you would show up in this way, okay? Let's get 2 more for the outcome. There's something's not over, okay? Like, we're not walking away from the marriage. We're not walking away from something. Oh my God, the Hierophant reversed. This is when we act outside of our better judgment, okay? The Hierophant is... Oh, very my beard here, yay. Hi, Salim. The Hierophant is the card of Taurus. We've got a lot of Taurus here. The Hierophant is a teacher, okay? This person's had a lot of life experience. They know from experience on this earth, okay? Lots and lots of situations, lots of like time going around the sun. Like we've learned over the years, like we're no longer the student, we're the teacher. We want to help others by explaining and talking about our prior experiences so they may not, you know, suffer the same like mistakes. It's a wise person, someone that's become wise over many, many years. When it's reversed, it's like we knew better than to do this. We knew better than to like screw up. We knew better than to cheat. We knew better than to think that we could get away with deception and not get caught, not get exposed. We knew better than to get involved with someone else and think they wouldn't eventually leave because they're frustrated, they're upset, they're hurt. You know, like they're going insane, like being kept a secret, like it's not fair. 7 of Wands is like passionately fighting for something, like competitive. If say it was a work scenario, this is someone that's gonna, go in for the promotion that's up for grabs. Like they're gonna go up against other people in work, and they think they've got a good chance. So I think you're really pushing to like preserve a situation here, but I don't know if it's a lost cause, because I do feel like sometimes you lose the person that you brought into the marriage, and you lose your other half as well. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think you got too much to lose, like leaving what you've established so far, like across all these years with your other half. Like you're not prepared to leave. My throat's so dry, my God. I just caught up on like 2 years of gossip with my friend, and now I'm supposed to talk for like another 4 hours. Right, let's clarify. Although I think I do know what's going on. Why has this person got the 3 of Cups reversed? Why have they got the Knight of Wands reversed? I'm not burning sage because normally that dries my throat out as well, so. But it's coming out fine, like it's not taking a long time to get the cards out. Say that and then they don't come out. Oh, what's this? It's weird how that came in like the challenge position. Dream world. Oh, living in a fantasy. Illusions, not real love. That is so sad, guys. Like, like, I don't like that Coldplay concert where they exposed that couple that was cheating because, they're staying with their families. Like, they're pouring money into that family home that they've got with their kids in it, and maybe their kids are like growing up and don't live at home anymore, but do you know what I mean? Like they're not just walking away, but to go to a concert together, like they're obviously in love with each other. People fall in love just because they're like outside of a marriage doesn't mean they don't have feelings. It doesn't mean that they don't hope that it's going to become something legitimate one day. And it doesn't mean that they don't think about other people involved. I think we villainize people, but really, it's just not that. It's not that black and white, is it? Like it's because there's other people involved that people don't just walk. This person feels like they've been deluding themselves, okay, waiting for a proper relationship in this scenario. They feel like maybe the other person wasn't in love. Maybe you weren't in love with them, really. Wait, the other 2 cards came out as well, didn't they? Look. They feel like you're just going through the motions now, like you're checked out, you're emotionally distracted by the drama of like not wanting to lose the marriage that you're in. Tangled web, unable to free yourself from a sticky situation. Taking a step back helps you to see clearly. Look. They're not just going to like let themselves get caught up in the sex or the passion. They're not going to be persuaded like they can't do it anymore. Like it's not right. It's upsetting. So it kind of just confirmed what we know, really. Hey, doesn't it feel like autumnal? It's proper cold now. I'm going to close those windows. I only opened them because we're going to burn the sage, and then I didn't even do that. Whoops. Let's see what else comes out. Also, I'm not having a go at you, Aries, because everyone has a right to be touched. Everyone has a right to be not made to feel like wallpaper. Okay? You don't have to be lonely in a marriage or a relationship. Even if you don't have a house, even if you like rent and you're in a relationship, no one deserves to be lonely inside a relationship. And you can be fully in love with the person and you just want them to see you in that way again, and maybe they never touch you again, and they just think that you're going to be fine like that, and it's not. That's not, do you know what I mean? There's definitely problems if it's gone like that. And I'm not saying the person doesn't love you anymore, because I think people can be in love but be highly stressed by work. They can be very like, I don't know, if you're going through the menopause, like all that friends, you know, that age, and they're just like, I wish I felt like that, but I don't, you know. Lots of reasons why people don't feel like being intimate. I think with men a lot, if they're having like career problems or something, they really don't feel like that. You could be someone that's having like, you know, serious treatment for a health condition, or you don't even know why you don't feel like it, but it does hurt the other person a lot. Reciprocal lines. Navigate boundaries with grace, mastering the art of give and take in harmony. Yeah, they're not getting any reciprocity, this person. They're giving and they're getting nothing back, or not enough. For God's sake, just piss off at my channel. Why are you saying like, if you can't abide by other religions existing, then you are not a good person. I'm sorry, but you can't bully other people because they don't believe the same thing as you. I'm an omnist, like, I'm happy in the presence of like other religions, other beliefs. I'm very happy for them. Like, I'm not going to go round telling them they're wrong, but you don't come into my channel and tell me I'm the devil. How dare you? Like, I help people for a living. I'm a high school teacher. I help people academically and personally, and I help people personally on here, personal development. It's not the devil at all. It's just like, honestly, they're like people on a mission. Like, if that's all you're doing in your life is going around telling people they're the devil, do you even know who you are? Do you even know who you are? Like, honestly, you're just repeating stuff, parroting stuff. You don't even know yourself, do you? Just repeating stuff that you think you're being a good, like, missionary or whatever. A good Jehovah or whatever. Like, you're just repeating stuff. I bet you're not even aware, like, self-aware. I just had a right kick off. It's in a very good mood before being called the devil, you know. That's not nice. Right. Let's go back to, yeah, I'm an earth angel, thanks very much. Not a devil. Actually, the friend that I met up with, she was like, your channel helps me a lot, like, helps me to process the relationships that I've had, and I feel like much better about things after. That's the point of the channel, guys. It's not like I'm not the devil. Far from it. You are the one regret I can't let go of. Oh God, this poor person. That's their feelings, okay? So that was the person that you were involved with, and if this is your story, you were involved with, and you're like, no, I can't expose it, I can't end like my marriage, or like, yeah, where I'm living, like I can't do that. They can't. They're really struggling to move on, even though they, they feel like they understand. It's not their job to like stay in the dark, though, is it, and be someone's secret. Like you can do that for a while, but you can't do that forever. Like, because then you're just living like a ghost. It's not nice. That's not right. So we've done all the clarifiers. Yeah, let's get these as well. I don't think we need any more, but let's use it because it's out. Then I'm gonna get confessions from them, okay? Someone's expecting. See, I don't think this person's pregnant, although it can be, but I think it's more like they secretly hope for like a new beginning. They secretly hope that you'll like turn around and be like, do you know what, I can't live without you, like I've developed all these feelings. It's just like going through the motions where I am. I'm gonna end it. You know, like that's the kind of thing that people stuck in this situation like dream of, even though, you know, they know like the chances of that are very low. Oh, my friend's just messaged, that's nice. The one that I met up with. Maybe she's listening. I wonder if she's listening. Shout out to Kate if you're listening. Okay, this is like no contact, so if you're the third party and you're cross-watching, or you are Aries and you're wondering what this person would say to you, let's get a message. Yeah, maybe she's like in here. That's fine. That's fine if she is. She's welcome. She's a Taurus, so she might be waiting. To be honest though, if you're like at the beginning of Taurus season, you could be an Aries Taurus cusp, in which case this could resonate. I think she's later on in Taurus season though. I'm the third, so I'm like early. I was rude. I was fashionably late when I was born, so I should really have been an Aries. Classic Taurus behaviour, late for everything. Doesn't mean I love you any less. You might get annoyed with me being late, but I'm always thinking about people. Always thinking about the people that I care about. They won't know it though because I turn up late. Wild side. There's a side to you I haven't seen and I want to. I want to see let loose and get wild. Let's have some fun. Run away. Would you pack a bag and meet me in Hawaii? I just want to get away from the world and be alone with you. Oh, this person's like so in love. So passionate. I told you what their secret thought is like. One day we'll be together. One day this person's going, you know, like, and it happens, guys. It happens. Like, you can say like, oh, this person's never going to leave. Like, Aries is never going to leave and be the cross watcher. People do. Like, I know people who've done that. Sometimes they wait like over a decade to do it. But then they're like, oh, the kids are grown now. Or it's like, this is like that. And they leave, guys. Like, they leave with this person. They're not crazy, okay? This person's not crazy. They fell in love with someone that's being tied up. What's the nature of this connection? That was straight out. That's just weird how fast that came out. Reaching your goal. Everything you want from this connection will manifest in the near future. What is going on? Let's get some sacred geometry. Cosmic flower. The frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place that we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. So that's all about like your happiness, everything that you need and that you require to be happy is within you. Yeah, it's not in bricks and mortar. It's not in, like, I can go back to Bergamo now. It doesn't feel like my home, okay? It felt like my home when I was there because I was in a relationship, because I had a job where I was part of the local community. If I visit now, honestly, like, it's kind of depressing to me because I'm on the outside of things. I'm not part of that community now. My relationship's done there. Like, it's sad to me. It's like being a ghost walking around there. Like, I can be like, maybe I can be like very, very happy like that again, but I don't think going to that place is going to make me. Does that make sense? Like, everything you need is within you. It doesn't mean you're happy like all of the time, because everything you need is within you, but one day you'll be happy like that again. And you could be in a totally different location. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. Gaia. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and the universe that birthed us all. Okay, so that's just exactly what I'm saying. We're all under the same sun, we're all under the same sky, the same moon, the same stars. The universe is abundant, and what you ask for will be given to you. You can't miss what's supposed to like come to you. It's already written in the stars, okay? Sometimes there's delays on stuff. Sometimes unexpected things happen that we didn't predict. And that can be good, and that can be bad, and it can be everything. But it's not like, oh, I'm not going out the house, so I'm not going to meet my next person. That's just stupid. I don't like it when people say shit like that. That's not true. Okay, you'll meet someone through work if you're meant to meet them. You will bump into someone, or they'll move in next door to you. You will meet the person because it's already written. Okay, so you're not trying, it's not like you can mess up your own life because you didn't try to meet someone. It's not possible. The universe makes everything, makes the cogs turn, and organizes external realities over time to make coincidences happen. Does that make sense? It's all coordinated. Their energy is just flowing round. Okay, I think I've talked about that enough. Solar plexus chakra. This is about being assertive, confident, going for what you want. The solar plexus is above the belly button. It's the yellow chakra. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So you're important. You are very important. You are made up. You know, the universe is made up of you. You're not separate to it. Human beings have like this existential crisis where we like think we're like in a viewing gallery looking at life. We're looking at the universe. We're looking at everything as if we're separate to it. You're not. You're made up of atoms, same as everything else in the universe. You know, you're made up of carbon, same as everything else, like life itself, things, animals, plants, people, tables, walls, you know, everything's made up of carbon. So you're not separate to the universe, you're part of it. So we got to stop looking at it as if like we're separate to everything. We're not. I think you get it. Let's get you some advice. Joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. Do you understand what you're being pointed towards? I think I've been quite obvious, but maybe it's subtle communication to some people. Like, you don't have to stay in something because maybe you perceive it as like it's going to be impractical to leave it, or it's already established. Like, I don't want to start over. I don't want like a lower status. I don't want to be single. People are used to saying my wife, my husband, like, my kids, like my house, my car. Okay, maybe you have to like downsize, maybe you have to like get rid of your car, but you're gonna be like making a new life somewhere else, and you still get to be a parent to your kids. Like, they don't stop being your kids. But you can't just do what your ego tells you to do. Ego is like I'm obsessed with status. I'm obsessed with hierarchy. I'm obsessed with what people think about me, what people are going to say about me, what it looks like to others. What are people going to say? Like, you can't worry about shit like that because they're not having to live your life. Even your, like, friends, your family, like, they can't understand how you feel. You've got, like, certain thoughts that you're having at certain times and you feel alone, and that's the truth. So you can't live like that worrying about what people will say. It's not their life. And they shouldn't get to make those decisions for you, you know? Nobody should be the Empress reversed. No one should be like the Hierophant reversed. Like, no one should be like the Seven of Swords, you know? Like, we should be, if we lived authentically, then we wouldn't have to sneak around, we wouldn't have to pretend anything. And we wouldn't be lonely within a situation. Let's get this one, because she never lies. Okay, this one never lies. Advice for Aries, please. Dream. Follow your yearning for the deep blue sea. Okay, let's be blunt now. Let's do like, instead of like subtle communication, let's do obvious communication. Leave the person that you're with. Because you're not in love with them anymore. And people don't want to watch people pretend to be in love. They don't want to listen to them argue. They don't want to observe them being passive aggressive and sulking or not talking to each other for days at a time. That's not fun for kids to observe that. It's not fun for family parties to know that two people can't stand each other living in the same household. Like, who fucking cares about what's being established so far? If you don't see a future with that person, you're living in the past, you're living lonely. Like, start worrying about what other people think and don't ask anyone else what you should do. You know what you should do, Aries. But I think you're the Emperor. You're very concerned with status and what people will think, and will I be less because I'm not married anymore? You know, will I be viewed as less, like as a single person in work, even though I'm senior? Will I be viewed as less if I have a smaller property? Will I be viewed as less if I have to downgrade my car or start to get the bus? You know, like, where are your priorities? Like, I think there's a lot of families out there live perfectly well, you know, like co-parenting from different abodes. And I think they discuss things with their children. I think they're able to be amicable. I know it's not always possible, but it's entirely possible to not screw up your kids, young or adult ones, if you can be in a situation where you discuss with them, like, look, mum and dad love you, but we're not going to live together anymore. Like, it's possible, guys. Like, it's definitely possible. Let's get a couple of like positive affirmations and a well-being card. Tell you what as well, if you're passive aggressive with your person, like you're married to, your kids will hate being in that house and your siblings won't come round anymore. I hated that. I can feel the tension in a place where two people live and they're posting beautiful photos of the whole family on the internet, like on Facebook, on wherever, and you go round there, you cut the tension with a knife all the time. And you think, God, you cannot stand each other. I don't want to be here. And friends feel uncomfortable going there. Like, you're not fooling anyone. Most times when you're keeping up a pretense because you're worried about what people will think, Everyone else already knows. They've known for months. They've worked it out. Because it's just obvious, you know, like the chemistry is just not there. Time. Time spent worrying is time spent. You're not going to live forever. You are not going to live forever. No one should be like doing this to themselves, because there is a choice to be made. And then guess what? Life begins after this decision is made. This is getting you nowhere. That's procrastination, it's stagnancy, delays, blocking your own happiness. For what? If you get caught cheating, that's when kids get upset because they feel like they've been cheated on. Do you know what I mean? It's best to just like be honest with them that you're not in love with mum or dad anymore, but you love, you know, you both love like kids, and you're gonna live from separate houses, but you're still a family. And then you can go and be with who you're in love with. Do you know what I mean? Like, without being a jerk to everyone. Make it right. I am surrounded by positive and supportive people. Okay, so you're not asking anyone what should I do. You're telling them because you need their support, their practical and their emotional support. You're telling them this is how it is, this is fact, this is happening. I would really appreciate if you could just like not add to the drama and just be supportive, you know, and like that's it. They just need to accept the information and be helpful in whatever way they can. Because why would they want to make your life more difficult? If they love you, if they're connected to you because they're a relative, because they're a friend, a colleague, a neighbour, whatever, like they just need to accept the information and be supportive. You're not asking them what to do, you're just letting them know this is what's happening. Let's take our power back. Take your power back, Aries. That's funny there in my beard. It's true though, like it happens. Sometimes, like, don't blame anyone that like is living passive aggressively and they made it clear to the person they want them to leave and the person won't leave. Because that happens. Like, I know that happens because the person got nowhere to go and they're like, well, I'm not going because what's going to happen to me? Do you know what I mean? They're not even in love with you anymore, so why? But sometimes you can't get people out. But I tell you, all your friendships will suffer. Your relationship with brothers and sisters will suffer because people don't want to be in a house where it's like horrific tension and people are like not talking to each other. It's awful. All you do is you make an excuse to leave like as soon as you can. Like after a few minutes, you're like, oh, I need to go because blah blah blah. And I'm telling you, like, no one's gonna visit you because they're just gonna be like, I can't be in that house. Like, I can't be there. And then your kids might suffer, but they won't tell you how they're feeling, which is worse. I feel that's so much worse. Then you're getting into really scary territory when your kids can't tell you how it's making them feel to live in that home. Who are they going to reach out to? Probably have like earlier relationships, probably go wild on the drink and the drugs, probably like self-harm or something like that. Like, you're just forcing people to feel stuff and not be able to express it because you think you're keeping everyone happy. You're not. You're not keeping anyone happy. No one's getting fooled. Everyone knows already when there's shit like that going on. They're all talking about it and then they stop talking when you walk in the room because they're like, it's so obvious. Who are they fooling? Like, I alone hold the truth of who I am. Okay, so it's not what people say about you that's like your character. You know what kind of character you've got. You know when you're living authentically and you're not, and you know whether you're a good or bad person or not. You don't need to like wonder about that and listen to what people are saying about you because they're just gossiping. It doesn't matter. If anything, once you're real with people, they kind of breathe a sigh of relief, like the shoulders drop and they're just like, oh, thank God, you know, like we can actually like talk real now. I focus my energy on improving myself as I cannot change others, only inspire them through my actions. Okay, so being a role model, if anything. Like, that was a long ass reading. I promise you there won't all be an hour, but I think someone really needs to hear this today. Someone's delaying their own future because they're choosing to. They're consciously like staying in something for reasons of status and ego. And ego doesn't mean you're full of yourself. I bet you've worked like insane hard, and I bet you're very generous with people around you, but you think you're a failure if you don't continue with a marriage. I don't know where that comes from, but people think they're a failure when they don't continue. It's just a relationship. Marriage is a relationship, and relationships don't last. So why would you call yourself a failure? It takes two people to make a healthy relationship work. So if you've done everything you can, you're not a failure. The marriage failed, you didn't, okay? Just disassociate. I know Aries, okay, and Aries like to win, Aries like to be successful, Aries like the glory. Fire signs love the glory, they love to be admired for their achievements, but a marriage isn't an achievement. It's a two-way thing that won't work if one person's working an arse off and the other person's like being a, you know what? You can't like, you're not a failure. If both people were doing their part, it would be working. You can't do it all yourself, even if you try and try and try, you cannot do it yourself. It's the only thing you can't do yourself, I think. And maybe that's hard for an Aries to admit, right? That they actually do need the other person to. Where's this card going? I've been like putting it this place and that place and oh, it's there. Maybe it's not nice to admit that the Emperor like can't actually be in control of everything all the time. Like they're actually not in control of relationships because you need both people on board for a relationship. Actually, you need both people on board for friendships as well. Friendship isn't, it doesn't matter how many years you've known each other, it's, is it still working? Is it still easy? Because friendship is choice, okay? Friendship is choice, and like if you outgrow someone, you're not obliged to keep seeing them just because you've always known each other. Bollocks to that. I've outgrown a lot of people I was friends with for many years. It doesn't, yeah. It doesn't mean you have to keep hanging around people. You can't relate to them anymore, right? A badly behaved person is a badly behaved person. So if it's like a parent or something and they're out of order, like they're just out of order and they never should have done a particular thing, you're not obliged to be with them. You're not obliged to spend any time or to make up with them. You just don't be around them. Because a badly behaved person is a badly behaved person, and it doesn't matter about like blood thicker than water and all this shit. Most people would just use that to, you know, take advantage of you. They'll just behave badly again. Some things aren't forgivable. Right, let's get the Taurus card out. Hey, hopefully this one's like more like 40 minutes. Give me something simple, Taurus. I'm going to get Italian on you. Yeah, it's no good to lie. Lying about how you're feeling You know, kids, it's hard, like, because there's a lot of blame about, like, it's getting a bit heavy now, but I noticed there's a lot of blame and everyone's like, oh, that child's like committed suicide. It's the parents' fault. But I remember being a teenager, and if I had a problem, am I fuck telling my parents about it? It's embarrassing. They'll overreact and get all like dramatic. It'll be awful. It'll be like shameful. Like, when you've got a problem, you're more likely to reach out to your mates. That poor kid, right, in the news, that poor kid that, like, he spoke to an AI bot and said he was chat. I think it might have been Chat GPT. Don't quote me on that, but he said he was having like suicidal thoughts and he wanted to leave a noose out for his parents to find because he didn't really want to kill himself, right? But even doing that shows that your mental health is bad, and instead of pointing him to like the Samaritans or like whoever that would help you, it didn't, and it was like no, like because that one, they were like, what did it say? It was like dead chatty. It was like very conversational, so it made him feel like he was talking to a person. And I get how that's dangerous, you know. I think there's a reason that computerized stuff should be kept to flat statements that are very technical, and it shouldn't be like a conversation. It should not with a bot, because it told him, I get what you're referring to. It was something like, I get what you're referring to, and it wasn't the word referring, but I get what you're like talking about, and I won't sugarcoat it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like chatty, like what a person would say, and keeping it almost a bit like secret. Like, we won't say out loud what it is that you're planning to do, but we both know you're trying to kill yourself. And then it told him the correct way to do it, and he killed himself. I'm like, oh my God. Sorry to talk about something like really heavy like that, but I don't think we should blame parents, because it's a teenager's, like, the psychology of that is like the teenager's not going to tell their mum or dad because they're too close to them. I think they might talk to a GP. I think they're probably going to talk to their friends more than anyone. You know, in high school, it's your mates that you like grab onto because you're with them all day. You've got to be in school. So I get why the friendships get a bit intense and that, but I don't think you should blame parents. Because I choose not to tell my parents things because I was embarrassed. I was just embarrassed. You think it's parenting? That's just my opinion, because I guess it's off my own, like, I suppose that's off my own behaviour, but also, like, I've struggled with my own mental health over the years, like, as an adult, and you know, my parents weren't very happy to discuss things like that. They were a bit uncomfortable with it, so I found GPs the best, actually. But I get, like, you know, people are like going on about the parents blaming Chat GPT, but I think it is dangerous when you think a computer is a real person having a private conversation, like having a private conversation with you and like thinking for itself. That's quite bad. Talk more. Yeah, definitely, like, talk more. And like the same goes for like talking about financial stuff as well, because kids had debt from parents. Whether you're young, like, or whether you're older, you're so scared about like worrying your parents about money and stuff that like maybe you keep stuff from them. Maybe you get like a loan out from a bank and then you're paying like high interest. Your parents might have been in a, maybe not, but they might have been in a position to say, look, I'd rather you borrow from us than borrow from a bank and you have high interest, and then you get into like serious debt and you can't get out of it. Or like, you know, we'll get a financial advisor and like, you consolidate the debts. When people, adults don't want to talk about financial stuff, but you just got to talk more. I think that's good advice, actually. Get comfortable with talking more. I tell you what, we do a good job in school because we do something called distancing, where like we talk about scenarios. So we don't say, imagine if you did this, or what would you do if, like, we talk to the year 11s and we're like, okay, so there's like a person this age and they're at a party and they get offered. They're really good at like answering stuff, you know. They're more responsible than what you give them credit for, like, because we have to talk about drugs and stuff. Right, shut up now. But yeah, I think schools do a really good job actually, and we get such a bashing and such a blaming. It's just, I get into a lot of arguments with people about this online, but whatever. Blame teachers for everything these days. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Taurus's highest good. How is Taurus feeling in this first week of September 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in the future? 3 cards for Taurus's feelings, please. You've always been honest with them during the divorce. Oh. Oh, do you know what? That's a really good point. I think sometimes out of both parents, you have like one that you know is less dramatic about things, and you know, they'll give you a hug and then they'll give you some advice. To be honest, both of them can be great, but there's slight differences between my parents, but they're very honest as well about things that have happened to them in the past, like way back. And you know, I think like it's very important to not judge your kids when they make mistakes, because probably you've made the same mistake or something similar, or you know someone that has, and judgment's what people are worried about the most, probably. Okay, so first cards are for Taurus. Whoops, squash some cards there. It's wrong though to like assume that, I can't stop now, but it's wrong to assume that teenagers don't have problems. They do. Yeah, they've got low confidence, so that makes it worse for them. Strength. Leo the Lion. Okay, so major arcana for Leo, fire energy. It's upright. This card is about the need to be emotionally strong though. Something's quite taxing isn't really the right word because that makes it sound drab, but like I think you might be going through it a little bit emotionally. Something could have knocked you off balance or made you feel a bit out of sorts. There's a need to be emotionally strong, Taurus, at the moment. So let's see if we can get a clue. Now, Leos are fiercely loyal. They can lose their temper. Very romantic. Very masculine. You know, Taurus is the most feminine sign. Leo is the most masculine sign. So it's interesting that you've got this like masculine energy where you feel like you need to be emotionally strong. Oh, look, fire. Look, all this fire, guys. King of Wands. Now, I was watching Taurus readings because I'm Taurus. I was watching Taurus readings like last night, and I'm telling you now, like for weeks, there's been a King of Wands coming up, but maybe it's your energy, Taurus, because this side of my spread is you. So you're showing up as King of Wands. 8 of Wands is in the challenge position. 8 of Wands is, if it was upright, that would be fast action, progress, fast communication. Hi, Sid. That's all right. You can pop in out of curiosity. I don't mind if you're just looking because you're a bit bored. Oh, okay. I just scrolled up and then it said shut up. Yeah. you can like not like what I'm talking about, but then you should just leave if you don't like it. King of Wands upright is this is the solar plexus being activated. This is like goal orientated, masculine energy because it's a king. You know, you can have Queen of Wands and she's also goal orientated, but she's more like seductive. It's still feminine energy. When it's the King of Wands, it's masculine energy. This person is a king, so they don't, it's not, you know, Knight of Wands move quickly, knights are on the move. Knights take action very impulsively. A king is very secure, very stable, immovable. Okay, so someone tries to defeat the King of Wands, they won't manage it. They will find it very, very difficult to do that. King of Wands upright is very secure person, very confident person. Not making decisions on a whim. Now that makes sense because we've talked it out. When this one's upright, this is like, you know, I'm gonna like act impulsively, I'm gonna move quickly, I want things to progress, I'm gonna say whatever is on the tip of my tongue, I'm gonna like, I wouldn't say it's talking exclusively because that would be swords, but it's just any kind of progress. Okay, think of that as action. How do I act to get progress? What should I say? What should I do? How should I respond? It's being queried here, like I need to think this through. I'm stood or sat like on the spot because I need to think this through. I need to remain in control of the outcome. It tells me so much because we've got all fire here. It's like I need to remain emotionally in control and I need to take my time to think how to respond to this, whatever it is that's happened, Taurus. And something's happened to me in the last 24 hours. And this is exactly what I've been. This is my frame of mind completely 100%. And then my friend who I met with, Kate, she said something, you know, it's happened like, but it's like something she did. And then she's like, oh, like, what do I do? Like, was that the right thing to do? Like, second guessing herself. So, you know, she's also now like a slightly different situation, but she's also now thinking, I need to be emotionally strong. Like, you know, how do I act now? What should I do? What should I say? Like, I need to point this out as well. Like, I talk about mental health because that's what tarot is for. It's to help you with your mental health. But I have had people come into my channel that have said they're going to hurt themselves or they're going to kill themselves. So I'm not out of order to talk about these things. Okay, I'm not out of order. It's not out of place. It's not random. Like, I've got people coming into my channel writing that are going to hurt themselves. You know what I mean? Or that something I said stopped them from doing that. So I'm not out of place to comment on things like that. Four of Pentacles upright. Okay, so this is the miser. So this is about conservation. I'm conserving my time, money, and energy. This is so weird. Like, if Kate's watching, she's gonna be like, oh my god. Because we both said, like, we've barely met up with anyone. Like, we have, but not as much as, like, you know what a Taurus is like. Like, we love our time to ourselves. Like, we have to decompress. Like, we're empaths. Like, we have to. We're not the kind of sign that's going to be like, go, go, go. And we're not bored. We're very much like happy. We're just happy in our own company and we're doing stuff, but we're not necessarily needing to do it with other people present or like involve other people or like, yeah, some people are very extrovert and they need to be out and they will get very down if they don't do that. So I'm not saying there's only one way to be, But for a Taurus, this is like easy for us. This is easy. Like, this is like go to. This is like our modus operandi, you know. You're keeping stuff very much to yourself. And it's because something's gone down, or is going to go down if it hasn't happened yet. And you're trying to like mull it over, and you don't really want or need. You might run it by people. It doesn't mean everyone's going to know about it. I think you're processing, like, if I speak to this person, if I get in touch, if I reply, if I like speak to them again, if I do X, Y, Z, how is that going to change my own security, emotional security, financial security, energy levels, ability to focus on what's important? Because I think we've gone through a phase of being very much career focused, very strong, very independent, power. We've been showing up as the emperor a lot and doing a lot of growth, like, on the grand scheme of things, the last couple of years have been very, very good for us financially, for Tauruses. Like, we came out of a very long, like, decade of hardship when it comes to finances and drama. And things have started to like really settle down for us and really level up. And I think we're just not sure how to play things, but we're not going to be rash about it. We're not going to rush in. We're not going to be foolish and rush into like how we respond to certain things at the moment and who we give our time and energy to. And I'm not telling you that I don't want to meet up with my best friends, because I do, but I think this is like a specific person or couple of people where we're like really trying to stay in control. Oh my god, this is so intriguing. Right, let's see who shows up. Could be the one on your mind. Now, he's showing up as a king, which means you could be involved with someone. But you don't have to be. You could be like, older. You could be someone that's very mature, someone that has a high-powered job, responsibilities. You could be a single parent. You could be a widow. It does not mean that you're married, but sometimes it indicates that you're in a relationship that's very, very steady. But it doesn't have to be. Okay, let's see what comes out. Oh my god, look. See, this is the other person. This is the person that's showing up in your reading. They've got the Sun card, but then they've got the Ten of Swords. That's brutal. Look, this person has got swords all the way up their body, from one end right up to the other. You could not get any more pain. The Sun card exclusively, like by itself, is a card of being like, it doesn't mean you like, it's about being like carefree. Like, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's a naked baby riding a horse bareback, giggling with the sun shining behind them. Like, it's, babies are not body conscious. They don't have hang-ups. They don't have regrets. They don't like, it's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? And ignorance is bliss. And they probably are like stressed at times. So it's more in like, if you think about Sigmund Freud and like babies have the, they have the id. It sounds like the ick. They're in a state like their ego is just at the id state. So they're, if they're hungry, they cry. If they're like wet themselves, they cry. Like if they're tired, they cry. If they're ill, they cry. Like, and then they calm down once their basic needs are met. And so they're not plagued with like mortgages or like, am I attractive to the opposite sex, or like, they're just not, they didn't have like the worries that an adult has. It's carefree. There's a lack of burden. Okay. With the Ten of Swords, like, this person is at the maximum amount of burden. Okay, this is all that they can think about. It's all they can think about, and they can't stand it. It can't continue because it's making them ill. 10 is the maximum amount of swords you could have in your body. It can't go any. This is the end of a cycle. This person's like, I cannot feel like this anymore. It's making me like suffer so bad. It's at the most, I can't take it anymore. So it could have been a while since you heard from this person, or it could have been a while that things have been very difficult, challenging, painful with this person. You could have been in no contact. I don't know. Let's get some more cards to understand. Okay, Eight of Pentacles is someone that's really working hard to improve their circumstances. There's increments of time, money, and energy. This is someone grafting. You see, like they've got the work tools. The card after this would... Oh, you 5th of the 5th. That's so cool. The card after this would be, you know, the next one to arrive would be the Nine of Pentacles. And that would be a single person who's financially independent. Okay, they can pay their own way. 10 of Pentacles would be lasting generational wealth. Usually 2 people, yeah, it would be like a family card or a marriage card, because that's usually what we achieve when we put 2 incomes together, 2 sets of assets or savings or whatever. The fact that this is the Eight of Pentacles is someone they're trying to become independent, they're trying to grow and expand and better themselves, yeah? They're working hard. I guess it could be self-care, like you could be trying to work on yourself. Yeah, it could be like working hard to improve generally, but I tend to associate it with financial improvements, like I'm taking on another course, or I'm taking, you know, a professional qualification, or I'm adding more trades, or I'm setting up a business, and it's, you know, it's just in the beginning phase, so it's not making money, but I intend to grow. I'm actively trying to improve and grow and expand. The Temperance, they're also trying to manage their emotions. Okay, so maybe they focused on work because, look, that the emotion was so much burden, so much pain, it's unbearable. There's no coming back from that. It reached a maximum, and then they're like throwing themselves into work. The Temperance is the major arcana for Sagittarius. So we got a lot. Oh my god, just realised we've got double fire on this side as well, because that's the Sun card, which is Leo. Major arcana for Leo, major arcana for Sagittarius. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like these. It's the Aura Tarot deck. Just realised you can't see it. But oh, this one, it's a bit, it looks a bit elfin, doesn't it, on there? But it's not, they're not really like that. They look more like, I like them because they look a bit classical, like ancient Greece or ancient Rome, or like, do you know what I mean? I don't think they look like elves at all, really. But that's just the box. The Temperance is, you know, like the card of the symbol of Sagittarius is the Archer. So that person's like, they're very goal orientated. The Archer is aiming for what they want, and they must manage their emotions and get very, very focused, very, very steady in order to achieve their goals. You cannot try and focus and work, try and focus on building a future for yourself when you feel emotionally broken because you're grieving for someone that's passed away, grieving for someone that you've, like, you know, going through a divorce or something like this. People end up taking time off work, guys, because they have like a mental breakdown or something. Like, you cannot focus on your like PGCE or your like whatever, if you are an emotional wreck. You have to have like routine, consistency, support. You have to have like regular food because that's going to make your emotions all over the place. You have to have like no drama from anywhere because you're already feeling stress. You cannot have additional drama, right? It's not possible. So when you're going through divorce or you're going through something really heavy, it's very, very difficult to work and take the stress of work, which could be really high, you know, in some roles. I mean, it's upright, so I think they're managing to regain balance because she's pouring from one cup into another. She's managing, it's upright, so she's managing to regain emotional balance after what was a very, very painful time. So it could be work, like of throwing themselves into work or busy, you know, busy doing like jobs that are very purposeful, projects or whatever, or it could be I'm working on myself to balance my emotions. Like I'm putting a lot of work in. It's taking like, you know, sometimes you have to go to like medical professionals, sometimes you have to go to personal trainers, sometimes you have to go to therapists or like psychologists, or you know, you maybe have to start talking about your problems, like maybe you have to learn to deal with things differently, or like, you know, do multiple things. It's interesting. Let's go 3 for the outcome. Oh, oh my god, look at this. Knight of Wands reversed. The Judgment reversed. Someone's really ignoring like a call to action. They feel called spiritually and, you know, passionately to act very impulsively, and they're ignoring that impulse. They're really, really trying to ignore like the impulse to like act very, very quickly, very spontaneously. I hate that feeling actually, because every fibre of your being's like, you need to go now, you need to get your keys, get in the car and do this, you need to like text them, you need to like ring them, you need to like, you know, it's really hard to like not do, like sometimes it's like everything you can muster to like not do a particular thing. King of Pentacles and the Justice. In the challenge position. The King of Pentacles is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's a person who's very, very financially abundant. They're good at earning, they're good at spending, they're good at saving, they're just good with money. It doesn't mean they won't have a day where they're between jobs. It doesn't mean they won't have a day where, you know, they'll have less savings. But this person prefers to be financially secure. They enjoy to gift people that they love and care about. They enjoy to buy things for themselves, to have a nice home. They're very like material focused. They prefer to be financially abundant, and they like to show acts of love using money. Okay, so the Justice card is about fairness. It's about what's right, doing things the right way, restoring justice, restoring equality, fairness. It can be a marriage card, but it doesn't have to be. Someone's ignored this person, whoever this King of Pentacles is, and you're showing up as the King of Wands, so I'm going to say that they're now the King of Pentacles. it could have really affected this person's like ability to feel grounded. It could have literally affected their finances because they can't focus and work. It could have literally affected their emotions because their health could be affected because of this, because the body stores stress. If you're suffering stress for a long time, it's not just your mind that suffers, you physically become unwell and you get secondary problems. So it's not good to bury emotions, not good to like avoid what you know, if your gut or your heart is telling you to do something but your head talks yourself out of it, then you know, it's just like what we're saying earlier, you're not living authentically, you're not being honest, and then you're kind of not really dealing with what the issue is that's causing all this stress. I think someone's not been dealing with what was causing them stress. That they're trying to find emotion. It's them. Because they've got Sagittarius, they're trying to find emotional balance after being really upset. And that's maybe why they've kept away if there's been, you know, like a long time with no contact. Maybe they were really like impulsive before and just maybe it was part of their mental health before they met you. Maybe they've always been that way. Maybe they've just realised and thought, I need to like sort my shit out because I've become very much like this. I don't know. You know your person and you know your situation, okay? Oh my God. In the outcome, we've got a Tower. I think it's good to be honest, because do you see that the person was not... They felt like really like they wanted to do something and they just wouldn't do it. When this is upright, the divine wants you. The divine's like raising the dead. They're like, come on, this angel's got wings. Like, they mean well and they're like, you need to act. You're not doing something that you really should. There's something that you need to act upon and you're not doing it. When it's reversed, it's like you refuse to do it. But everything in your like body is just like, I need to go and do this thing. And it's about making things right. Because this is the challenge, is like, this is not fair. I need to make this right. And maybe it's not fair on them. Maybe it's not fair on you. Maybe it's not fair on anybody. I don't know, but something isn't right. And look, change had to happen. Change is happening. Major change. Okay, so this means like leaving a marriage, leaving a relationship, going abroad, relocating, you know, giving you notice into a job, announcing, you know, throwing the gauntlet down and saying, well, I can't be in this marriage anymore if you don't want to have children. I know that I need to have children. You know, like, you're throwing the gauntlet down and you're creating a tower yourself, or someone's caused a tower for you, like an employer made you redundant out of nowhere and you're like, shit, that's a major tower because my life is proper changing and it's not going to be the same again and it affects me like heavily. It's some kind of major change. The universe can cause a tower if we refuse to act, if we refuse to take action on something, if we ignore red flags in a karmic cycle. The universe is going to create a tower where, yeah, something really, really bad happens that you are forced to change. You are forced to put up boundaries because it couldn't like get any worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes the divine will step in. So I don't know, because I don't know if it was them that caused the power or the universe or you caused the tower, but a tower's happening in the outcome, so there's major change. Now, what's positive about a tower, this is more fire, by the way, this is Aries energy. It's overwhelming, okay, it's not a nice card, but it's good in the end. So what's in existence crumbles down, and what replaces it is better, it's superior, it's, you know, instead of this like burning tower that's crumbling and unstable, we end up with a beautiful ivory tower that's encrusted with diamonds. Like, it's rock solid, nothing's going to break it, it's beautiful, it's abundant, you know, like, the life will be rebuilt in an improved way. Does that make sense? I don't want to like scare anyone, but this is a big change. This is like fucking big changes. If you think about the major things in life, it's love, it's career, location, health. Yeah, it's something really, really major is changing here. One of the major aspects of this person's life. So much fire, like fire and earth and a little bit of water, a little bit of air, but very fiery for a Taurus reading. Very fiery. Yeah, it's been 40. Knight of Swords reversed. That's refusing to deliver a message. There's something that needs to be said and refusing to do it. Refusing to talk to someone about love, being in love. A solid offer of commitment. Somebody wants to make a solid offer of commitment because they're in love. The Empress. Someone wants to go towards the Empress, which is you, Taurus, with a solid offer of commitment, but they're going to have to do it in a way that's very strategic. It's deceptive to someone. I don't think it's deceptive to you because they view you as the Empress, and this is the most stable knight. It's not an impulsive knight. It's someone that wants to invest time, money, and energy. You know, one day it's good intention. Okay, one day this person who's in love, they're already in love, they want to build the Ten of Pentacles with you because they view you as the Empress. But they've not been communicating this feeling, okay? They weren't communicating it. Maybe they lied or they didn't tell you that they had fallen in love with you. There's probably a good reason for that. This is a neat outcome. Someone's going to offer you investment because they're in love with you, Taurus. That's how they view you, as all four queens. You should have watched the Aries reading, maybe you'll cusp it. Right, let's clarify the person that's showing up. Adrift, not willing to settle down or be responsible, time to commit and put down roots. Trusted ties, build rapport, believe in mutual respect and respond with understanding. Destroyed. Shattered, broken, completely ruined. This has absolutely destroyed this person because they fell in love with you and something around that situation, that circumstance, meant they didn't act upon it. They didn't tell you how they were feeling, and every impulse in their body, every fibre in their being has been like, what am I doing? Keeping myself away from Taurus. I'm in love with them. I'm in love with them. I want to invest in them. And I've not been telling them. But this is how I see them. They've been deceptive. It could be because they're showing up as the King of Pentacles, right? This person could have Earth in their chart. They could have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. They could have some fire in their chart, but I think it's more a narrative of like, they could have literally been trying to restabilize their career and their emotions. Like, it could be both, you know, because one affects the other, like we said. Maybe it's to do with timing, or maybe they just weren't available somehow, emotionally, practically, financially, whatever. Could be all of the above. But they're in love with you and they didn't tell you. My God, what a reading. Okay, let's get the unspoken truth. What you're searching for may not be what you truly want. That's a weird one. See, that's their card. That's destroyed. Trusted ties. Adrift. What you're searching for may not be what you truly want. I don't know. Only the cross-watcher would know what they were searching for. Weird, that one. When's this going to happen? Because it's very clear in the outcome that this person's going to create a tower and they're going to offer you, they're going to tell you that they're in love with you and they're going to offer you commitment. Very, very, very like good intentions. But deceptive to someone, deceptive somehow. I think there's a need to be very strategic. It's funny because you're both in your masculine, well, it's not that funny, but you're both in your masculine energy. 2 months from now, Taurus. So it's the 1st of September tomorrow, isn't it? So around November, this is going to happen, this tower. Fucking hell. Oh, okay. Maybe they thought they wanted to be adrift without any responsibility, you know. And then now they're like, no, I actually want stability. Yeah, because King of Pentacles likes financial security. They probably thought, I just want to bust free. I want to bust out of like wherever I am. But now they're like, I actually want security. I want, you know, I want stability. I want to be properly set up. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They could have Earth in the chart, you know. I know your Earth, but like they could have it in the chart, like moon sign or whatever. What's the advice for Taurus, please? self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. You could really do yourself a harm, you know, if you can overthink, you can spend a lot of time being preoccupied. How do I respond? You get yourself into analysis paralysis by not responding at all, by responding too much, by thinking about it. Oh, just chill out, okay? Because in the outcome, you know, you've got what you want, which is this person, you know, getting honest, really. And they've got good intentions, so maybe this will help you to calm down if you feel very emotional at the moment. If it's throwing you off, like throwing you through a loop. Some kind of like contact maybe, or let's get a message from them. Whoops. Ghosted. I'm sorry I disappeared. I needed to get away and clear my head. That's what they did. That's what they did. They were in so much, they were suffering, right? So they focused on work because that was like basically like probably crumbling, and they've like really worked on like getting stability because, you know, telling you now, like it's very, very difficult to focus on things that are important, like in the day-to-day. They've got mother wounds. My mother is a big influence on my behaviour now as an adult. I have challenges with connecting to the divine feminine energy within me and externally. Okay, I love this deck because gets right into like, you know, the psychology of things. So it could be someone that like had trauma, you know, like they lost a parent, like lost a mother young, or they had a difficult relationship with their mother, or they still have, or they never knew who their mother was. Maybe they had a big fallout, you know, with a mother, like there's some kind of like fundamental problem that is then affecting this person, like ability to be emotionally stable. And I don't mean they're gonna like do something mental because they're like a psycho. I mean like lots of people have mother wounds, father wounds, like you know, the things I mentioned are very, very like standard. It's quite day to day, but it just means that certain things trigger them and they don't really respond in a way. Like if you have secure attachment, you respond in a way that's very like the expected way to stuff. You don't respond in the expected way when you have like mother wounds or father wounds. You can trigger you to like rebel, trigger you to disappear, to like, you know, retreat from anyone in your life, like to skew things in your mind and you run away or overreact, like you name it. Like it's some kind of, it's definitely, yeah, like an atypical response, okay, emotionally. Whoops. Oh my god, right? The person like proper in love with you and they might already be taken. And they have got to like pretend to everyone like not to care, and it's really like hurt them to do that. Deception, someone's wearing a mask in this relationship. My god. Another long ass reading, but well. What's this? Sacred geometry, delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. Oh, so the secret, okay, so the secret to happiness is self-care, you know, and like, if you live in a way that's authentic to like, you know, yeah, live in a way that's authentic. We're not trying to please others. We're not trying to like keep up a pretense, be deceptive. You live authentically, because otherwise, like, you sort of like get emotionally run down, physically run down, and it's just a downward spiral. And then, how do you attract like happiness when you're kind of in a downward spiral? It's very, 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 very difficult. Okay, it would only be like maybe bits, like glimmers of like happiness, but generally, you would be like an emotional vampire maybe. Or it'd make other people down around you. Does that make sense? Jojo's here. Oh, like, Jojo, I've been doing long ass reading. I've done like 2 hours. One for Aries, one for Taurus. So you may get an hour-long Gemini reading. I'm going to be here like till midnight or something. It's going to be a lock-in. Discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. I'm sorry, but these are long readings, right? But they're really good ones. They're really good ones. This is quality. Absolute quality. If I do say so myself. Absolute quality. Let's get some positive affirmations, and we'll get a self-care. Did I do a self-care? No, I didn't, did I? Yeah, actually, you're in time for Gemini instead of being like past the beginning. Not that it matters. I am constantly growing and improving. To be honest, if someone like really struggling with like trauma, and then they're trying to work on themselves, how reflective is that? Like, how self-aware is that? It's a good person. The only constant in the world is change. So I will embrace it. I actually can't deal with it. I am safe and surrounded by love and support. That's nice. That's really nice. Take care of your emotions, Taurus, because they're probably like all over the place at the moment, or they're gonna be. What have we got? Optimism. If you're going to make up stories in your head about people and circumstances, please make them love stories with happy endings. I so do that. I proper like imagine all kinds of scenarios, and then it kind of, do you know what I mean? Like, you're telling yourself a story that's not even true. I like that. I'm happy with that. Okay, take care, Taurus. I hope you liked this reading. I hope it resonates. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, and I will see you in the next one. On to Gemini. JJ, I've been called the devil today. You missed it. I got proper pissed off as well. Proper pissed off, like. May I repent and not burst into flames. I'm just a terrible person, you know, for helping people. I'm just absolutely awful. We said we didn't want any crazies until 2033, and it's not happening. I actually get so pissed off, like, it's like really offensive though, like, I'm not the devil, I'm an earth angel. Like, the intention's so good in tarot, like, it's so misunderstood. It's very misunderstood. I got a feeling some people just don't want to understand, do you know what I mean? Because they've got a book telling them what to think and what to feel, and I'm not talking about the Bible, I'm talking about, like, they're proper brainwashed. They're proper brainwashed. They don't think for themselves, these people. People that say, you know, stuff like that's not nice. It's nasty. But I'm pretty sure they're not thinking as well. Oops. Throat punching is illegal. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's do Gemini. We've had a couple of very dramatic readings. So let's see what we get for Gemini. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Gemini's highest good. How is Gemini feeling in this first week of September 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in the future? 3 cards for Gemini, first of all. The Temperance. Okay, she's showing up a lot today. The Temperance is, you know, the card of Sagittarius. It's about managing your emotions, trying to find a nice balance, a nice equilibrium. She's moving the water, which represents emotions, from one cup into the other. Trying to be calm, trying to be emotionally strong, not have mood swings, not overreact, just get steady, because the symbol of Sagittarius is the archer, okay? And when we need to focus on our goals, we can't be thrown off. We don't want things to interfere with us emotionally, because it's very, very difficult, okay, to graft and reach your goals when you're, like, having drama, external or internal, okay? We don't need that. We need to be getting our aim, and then, you know, shooting for what we want. Oh gosh, did you see that? I can't get it because it's right in front of the tripod. Oh. 2 of Pentacles reversed. So this is the Juggler card. When it's upright, we're trying to find balance, we're trying to find equilibrium. So we've got 2 cards that are very similar here. Now this could be a struggle to manage priorities because it is reversed. She's moving the pentacles like in a figure of 8 kind of way. It's like when you're trying to spin too many plates, so you're like overwhelmed. Maybe, you know, it's work versus kids, or like work versus health, or like trying to have free time, and, you know, we'll work in a relationship. Like, how do I manage? Like, how do I have enough time for everything? There's a desire, you know, 2's a number of duality, a desire for balance and or reciprocity when it comes to priorities. Let's get one more for Gemini. Ooh. Okay, Death cards, and it's upright, so that's good. Okay, Major Arcana for Scorpio. Closing out a chapter, closing out a cycle. If it were reversed, you know, it's like avoiding closing it out, unfinished business, but you're nicely closing off a chapter. Maybe you've been like, you know, overworked or struggling to manage lots of different priorities, or something's been throwing you off your game. Whatever it is, we're closing that chapter out, so that's good. Right, let's get some cards to see who's showing up for you. Could be someone that you're currently dealing with. Could be someone that you've got on your mind, or you're not dealing with anyone and there's someone that you're manifesting in the future. Oops. Tower reversed. Someone has got the Tower reversed. They don't want major change. They're trying to avoid it. It's Aries energy. Towers can be caused by us, by someone else, or by the universe, okay? Towers are inevitable. They have to happen. Major change as in, like, I'm not going to choose a different outfit today to what I thought I was. It's like, I'm going to lose my job, or like, I'm going to hand in my resignation. I'm going to hand in my notice. I'm going to break up with this person today. Okay, someone's trying to stop a tower from falling because other people can cause a tower. Hi, Joanne. You know, like if someone breaks up with you or work make you redundant, like someone says, look, I've changed my mind, I don't want to have kids or something. Yeah, it's a huge change, like it's a huge tower. But this person, whoever this is trying to stop the tower from falling. So they're very resistant to change that is inevitable. Big change. Big change. Oh. Oh, this is going to be a sad one. Not for you, for whoever this is. Well, Four of Wands when it's upright is stability. It's the 1111 card. You know, this is like two people that are together. Four's the most stable number, like the four legs to a chair, the four walls to a house, a rock solid commitment. Everyone in the town knows that these people are getting married, we're celebrating, you know, they're declaring that they're going to be together, that they're going to work on things for the rest of their lives, like blah, blah, blah. It's a solid, stable home. Even if you're not married, it's just like a stable home, but it tends to be like two people in love and they're very, very committed, very rock solid. I would take it as a marriage card or someone that's living together for many years, you know, possibly got kids, that kind of level of commitment. The Five of Cups is grief. And that was upside down. So there's instability to do with a living situation, you know, a family dynamic, a marriage, a home. This person like delaying grief because they're basically in denial that their marriage or living situation is done, it's over. So I would say, well, let's get one more, but I'm thinking it's someone that may be coming in for you in the future. That's just, I don't think it's like necessarily really soon, but let's see. They're in denial though. This is done. Yeah, emotionally, like, this person doesn't want this ending. They don't want it. They don't want to be grieving. They don't want to be, like, talking in past tense about a relationship, you know, like, we used to be like this, we were together. They don't want to say ex, like. Why does it have to be so heavy for humans? Like, pigeons jump on each other's backs, and, like, I'm pretty sure they're not in this vibe. I'm pretty sure they don't. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but they just seem to jump on each other's backs and then just walk around. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, this person, like, emotionally closed off, whoever it is, but I'm not surprised about it. I'm not mad about it, okay? Because why would you be, like, this upset about trying to keep something together and then you're suddenly into someone new? That would be irrational, okay? That's just ridiculous. I would expect this person to eventually accept what's happening, begin to grieve, and then, you know, within like 6 months or so, their heart's starting to be in a different place, their head's starting to be in a different place. I'm not saying they're being ready, but it's obviously they're leaving something really, really serious here, and they don't want to be, so it hurts, right? So you're not open to love. Let's see, what about the outcome? Because this is like, you know, we could take this timeline as like the last few weeks or months, couldn't we? It doesn't have to be like, this is what's happening right now. Let's get the outcome. Six of Wands, success, victory, recognition. I like it. This is celebrating what you've achieved and people telling you well done. I don't feel like that's them because they're not in that vibe. It has to be you, Gemini. Because you closed out a chapter and you found balance. And people are noticing it. Nice. Nice to be celebrated. Nice to be recognised for hard work. I don't think it's them because they're like in denial about an ending, but I feel like you've been working on priorities, time, management, you know, like your goals, like getting ready, and you closed out a cycle. So like now we've got success, victory, recognition, being celebrated, prancing through the town, you know, your laurel wreath on your head and like throwing your cap and gown into the air, like thank God. All that hard work's paying off. What's this? Ace of Wands reversed, that's not welcome. See, Ace of Wands upright, I would take that as like a rebirth. I know not everyone does, but Page of Wands is like, you know, naive, optimism, excitement, no preconceived ideas. Ace of Wands, I feel like it's more like a rebirth, but it's something that you really want. And when it's reversed, it's not happening. So I wonder if that's, you know, like their one. I don't think it's your one. Because if the universe approved, the aces are like, you know, it's the universe meeting your hard work with a bit of luck or something you really want. They're just like giving you some good luck and it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen because the universe doesn't approve, right? So this tower has to fall for whoever the cross watcher is. The Strength card doesn't need to be emotionally strong. I would say for them in the future, they're going to have hermit energy and they're going to go, they're showing up for some reason. I don't know if it's your ex I don't know if you're still getting like communications from your ex, or like they're playing with your emotions, trying to get attention because they don't want to be an ex, or if it's someone coming in the future, because whoever it is nowhere near being emotionally available. Something they really wanted is it's not going to happen. They're trying to avoid an ending and having to grieve, and it's, you know what I mean? It's to do with a living situation that was very, very exclusive, very loyal, like very stable. But it's done. Send your CV to Mojo. The Mojo Tarot at gmail.com, actually. I'm all of this is very like, it's very draining. I'm putting my heart and soul into everything today. Right, let's get some clarification. Why has this person got the Tower reversed? Self-righteous, act spiritually superior, condescending, and preachy. Ooh, maybe they don't believe in divorce. Maybe that's like something they think like is just an absolute no-no. Maybe they've been too bossy. Maybe they were trying to call the shots all the time, you know. Soulful synergy, vulnerability, weaves hearts in a dance of harmony, unity, and flow. Vulnerability weaves hearts in a dance. So this is like the need to... There's like a need to be emotionally strong, and like... Someone here was like preachy, condescending, so that's all about ego. And actually we need to make ourselves vulnerable. And when you talk about emotions, you worry about judgment, you worry about what people will think, making yourself vulnerable. Because if you tell someone you love them, maybe they say, well, I don't love you too. You know, you tell someone you want a rebirth, maybe they say, well, I don't want a rebirth, and it hurts. So like people will say, well, like it's wrong to divorce, like people should work at things, or it's, you know, against my religion, or like my family will be really angry, or like, you know, they try to use other reasons to like keep something together instead of actually opening up. Maybe this person needs a lot of time before they become vulnerable again, because they're not looking to invest. They haven't got it within them to do that, because they're not even grieving, in denial. I feel like your last reading was very similar, wasn't it? It was like, what was it like? Learning the art to compromise, or something like that. Because I'm sure it felt like an ex or something in the last one. Depression, emotional intelligence. Oh, it's not nice. I don't like it. Oh, we all do that sometimes. My mum was perfectionist, and she wouldn't really approve of having leftovers for breakfast. And then we had like a family party, and she's the one ate all the pizza the next morning. This woman has probably done that like once in her life. Because she's like, no, everything should be like from scratch, and we don't eat old food, or like if we do, it would be like dinner time the next day. It wouldn't be like for breakfast. I said I want that cold pizza, and she was like, I've eaten all of it, and it's like a full plate. Oh, cold pizza is delicious the next morning. You gotta be careful with your Chinese. You gotta like make sure you reheat that rice and stuff to a high temperature, haven't you? Your eggs, bacon and French toast. Can you still trust she or he? I keep stepping towards you only to pull away again. The truth isn't always black and white. Someone playing a proper game here. Because they do not want to let go. They're going to have to. I don't know if it's your ex or like someone that's manifesting in for you in the future that, you know, is currently just not emotionally available, but they will be. Let's say it's someone coming in the future that's actually like distraught over someone, you know, at present. But I don't know, I just feel like there would be more around March. Okay, so you may meet someone around March. I'm sure there was something like that in your last Gemini reading. I'm sure it was like a decent time frame, but it made sense because you got to become emotionally. We don't want to be someone's rebound. We don't want to meet someone that we really care about and they're like just not emotionally available. You know, I'd rather like it was a bit of a wait, which, you know, what's that like? 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I'd rather like wait till that's about enough time for them to like accept what's happening and open up a little bit. They're in denial at the moment. My tummy's rumbling. I wanted avocado toast and they were like, everyone's ordered that, so we've only got normal toast. And I was like, that's fine. And then they were like, you've got to have the butter and the jam with it. And I was like, I don't want the butter and the jam there, it would be a waste. And she was like, we have to do it. So I was like, okay, put it on the plate. And I was like, pay for it, but I won't eat it. She was quite young, so I think she just couldn't work it out, like how to do it on the till, but it was fine. I didn't care. If we're saying that this is someone coming in, what will be the nature? Let's talk in the future tense. What will be the nature of this connection? Okay. Redirect your thoughts. Focus on what you want to attract in this relationship. Sorry, my voice is going. Focus on what you want to attract in this relationship, not on what you fear will happen. Unconditional love. The love between you and your person is eternal. Nothing and no one can take it away from you. See, this, I asked about the future. When this person does become emotionally available around March and they're open to dating again, this could be advice for the cross-watcher as well as for you. But I think you're manifesting someone in that's like, they're obviously very loyal. You know, they don't like giving up on stuff. They like stability. They're very loyal. Open your eyes. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I mean, you could take that both ways. That could be positive or it could be negative, couldn't it? Like, maybe we need to trust people and not assume that they're going to screw us over. But we also need to look out for red flags. I mean, that's just sensible. But there's a lot here about... There's going to be some sort of big love here, you know. But you're being urged to think positively. Okay, so picture the life that you want. Picture the love that you want. What qualities you want in that person. And my stomach just rumbled. Imagine you like laughing with them or like doing nice hobbies, like holding hands. If you're very tactile and it's very important to you to have someone who's tactile, you know, picture that and what that will look like, because that's how you manifest it. A person with those behaviours, okay? What's this one? Keep the door open. Don't be so focused on a closed door that you don't see the ones which open for you. That's so for them. How much is that for them? because they're just like, oh, I'm not investing in anyone, because, you know, I'm like not going to allow this tower, and I'm not going to like grieve for the end of this like relationship or marriage. They're holding themselves in like homeostasis, right? And they shouldn't, because there's someone that will love them just as they are and will be like a really good team. I do think this is something coming in the future. I do think it is. Advice for Gemini, please. So you'll know who this person is if they say, I'm currently going through a divorce, or I've recently moved out from a very serious relationship, you know, it's like 6 months ago or something. That's how you know who this person is. It's a person that's very loyal. And they're going to feel scared to open up emotionally and make themselves vulnerable, but yeah, it's a secret to a good relationship. Opportunity. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave. If you brave the rough seas, you will prove yourself and discover love. Yeah. It's also advice for them, I think. Redirect your thoughts, open your eyes. Yeah. Just let people prove themselves, like. The love between you and your person is eternal. Nothing and no one can take it away from you. Around March, focus on what you want to attract in this relationship, not on what you fear will happen. It's about having trust, okay? Trust in the outcome, trust in the future, trust in whoever it is that you're going to meet in March. Let's get some sacred geometry. Emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So, approach reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonder. Opportunity is very positive. It's very, very positive. Look at this. If you brave the rough seas, you will be successful. That's in the outcome. I love it. Very positive. It was looking dodgy for a while, because this person going through shit, okay, but they're going to become available around March. You know what, like, you feel like it's a long time away, but it's not really. I'd rather wait for someone to be ready than, like, I've met some people and it's so gutting when you like meet them and their timing's really bad and they're just upset over someone they can't see themselves like being open to, or worse, they get involved with you and then they undo it. Oh, it's just awful. It's awful. And they're like a really high value person, like you're really into them. It's not nice. I'm at peace with myself and the world around me. I'm capable of creating a life filled with joy and happiness. I'm confident in my abilities to succeed. I'm surrounded by positive and supportive people. Yeah, you're not alone. Like, while you're waiting for this, you've got so much going on. I think I'm going to finish Gemini and then I'm going to have a bit of a break, you know, because my tummy's rumbling. I need the toilet. I've been on here for a decent time, I think, you know. And then I'll come back on, continue. You got projects to finish up. Yeah, that's good. You see, you're getting prepared. You're getting ready and getting prepared for when this comes in. I bravely face conflicts and seek harmonious solutions. Ooh. Yeah, maybe they'll be like a little bit difficult to open up to start with, and then I think you're like, perfect for dealing with that though. Let's get you a self-care card. Look! I don't know why I'm shouting. I'm getting very enthusiastic. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. Yeah, I would love some Chinese food actually. Take a chance. Don't make me think about food, Jojo, because now I can't concentrate. You know what I did a couple of times and I've never done it again? I brought my food next to me and I ate a bit, and then I could not think about anything other than eating that food. It was like torture. You're being asked to roll the dice here. Take a risk. And I love that. I love that. Okay, is there anything that we haven't pulled? Did I do this one? I don't know if I did this one. Did I do sacred geometry? Yeah. Yeah, emergence. Emergence, opportunity. Take a chance. Take a risk. I'm sorry, but like, come on. Come on now. Accept what the universe is saying. It's too good. What's this? Wandering path. Enjoy the journey. Ascending the mountain. Keep going forwards. Nice. I like it. Oh wait, take care, Gemini. If you liked this reading, please give it a like. Share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channels. And I will see you in the next one. Right, I am going to go off for a while because, basic needs need to be met. You don't hear my tummy rumbling and me complaining that I need the toilet. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Okay, and I'll like come back on like half an hour or something. You're welcome. Thank you to my wonderful moderators. Oh my god, speaking of moderation, I was on GTA last night and all these like modders being like gifting me cars. I don't know if you play GTA, Grand Theft Auto, but like, oh my god, I'm straight on there tonight and I'm just driving around my new rides. I can't believe it. So kind, like. You can get sucked into stuff like that though, like, you forget to like work on your 3D reality when you're just gaming all the time, like, but I flex so well and like I'm doing so well like virtually, and it's like, how are you doing in your real life? It's not good. It's not good to get too far inside the screen. Well, one was from Portugal and one was from Mozambique, so I'm not getting Viking vibes, but you're definitely a Viking vibe, aren't you? Right, take care everyone, and I'll be on later. Yeah, it has to be balanced, 100%. Right, see you soon.